be in tune with two of those things. But like, let's dial it back for a little bit. Let's start from the beginning because I feel like when even outside of that, it shouldn't even be this almost weird concern of like, oh, if he's gay, he's going to be less than of a man. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to get this weird like concept of okay, if he's gay, then he's less than or weak or he's not going to be able to defend himself.
Get ready, everyone. You're listening to the Hey Boo Podcast.
I like that with the chemistry, yeah. And when you vibe back, we can remedy that. I'm into energy and telling the facts, tenderize my tendencies. Oh, oops, they better be back. So relax, I'm on the track. This right is my home. I never act, so you feel my tone. You in the know, oh no. We go again, and you said that we were only friends.
Whoa. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. I don't know. I don't listen to those boys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't bone a thug or even harmonize. Not for real, for real. The only harmonize I've ever done was probably, I don't know what, the 5 heartbeats, girl. I don't know. Listen, it's a stressful time right now. I'm in a stressful area, but this is a safe space as we've created together, so we're getting through it. But how are you, Buki? It's this first of the month and it's a Monday. That has to be some type of like weird phenomenon or something. I don't know if that bitch got her hair in micro braids again, but listen, I'm just saying the times are going and the goings are timing, as some would say. Who's the they? Don't know, but we're gonna stick to the script. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I would like to. How are you? How are you doing? Wow, you like walk around with speeches in your pocket or something? Here, I won't worry about it too much, girlfriend. But it is good to see you. My weekend was great. As if feasting last week wasn't enough, also getting to a Friendsgiving over the weekend was also very fun, fulfilling. Good eats, good company, and good drinks, of course. So the time was spent with good company. It's so strange. I do have to vent just a tad bit, off schedule. As I'm getting closer and closer to the end of the time of my hair in my home state where I'm born, come from, I feel like it's interesting to see almost like the end credits come closer and closer day by day as I get closer to the point of actually like leaving here because I'm born and raised here. Like I got roots here. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom knows extra people and I know their moms. You know what I'm saying? And so like it is very saddened to see, it get easier to almost like detach from home and like almost not want to be here. Not even almost. I don't want to be here, but um, the relationships I've had and grown and built over the last course of the lifetime that I've been in this state, it's been fun, it's been beautiful, and I've had a lot of great things happen here. But I feel like it's coming to a point where I'm starting to realize that like my time here is definitely up for sure. You ever feel like that where it's just like you almost feel like you're playing somebody else's game on like their saved game and you just jumped in the middle and you're like, fuck, I don't even play on this console for real. It's kind of like that, but that's a story for another day, Buki. We can have that conversation some other time. Not to, but some other time. Yeah, no, a super fun episode. I feel like me personally, when it comes to my identity, oh, wait a minute. We can't get too far ahead. Did we forget where the fuck we are? Because I didn't. The sign even says it in the back. This is the Hey Boo Podcast, and I am your host, Boo Boo. Yeah. No. We love that. We love that. But yeah, no. Being a homosexual man, it is an interesting space to be in, let alone the mental of that, whatever that means to you or me. You know what I'm saying? It's a very interesting ballpark up there. And I feel like so many questions are asked and so many things are unorganized or perceived when it comes to what it's like to be a gay man. I can't speak for all gay men. Let me preface that now. And so a lot of the things that I'll say in the context that I'm speaking is the space, it's from the perspective of a queer black man. Let that be prefaced. So like, I'm not a twink. That's not something I could ever be. You know what I'm saying? Not one time ever in my life. I don't know what it's like to experience white gay lifestyles. Like that's just not, it's not mine. I can tell you my lifestyle and what's happened for me, and then like that's the whole, that's the gag. But no, it is very interesting coming into my comfortability and just my identity as a queer man has been very interesting because I am very, I would say, versatile in the way that I uphold myself, whether that's being more feminine to masculine, you know what I'm saying, and having duality on both sides. I think humanly, not to get ahead of myself, it is very important to be in tune with two of those things. But like, let's dial it back for a little bit. Let's start from the beginning, because I feel like when even outside of that, it shouldn't even be this almost weird concern of like, oh, if he's gay, he's going to be less than of a man. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to get this weird like concept of, okay, if he's gay, then he's less than or weak, or he's not going to be able to defend himself. He can't raise a child. He can't do this. He can't do that. Girlfriend, who can't? Girl, if you tell me I can't, I'm going to do it 4 times better because you now I'm feeling threatened, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. But it's let's call a spade a spade. Most of the gay couples in the world do the best things in the world, honestly. Like, let's be realistic here. And it doesn't take just a man and a woman to raise a child. It takes a village. But seeing the ability that gay couples, men to men, women to women, or whatever the case may be, everything in between, being able to raise children and like do what they're able to do, it's a very powerful thing to have, and a very powerful tool to be able to like exercise, because there are people who can't even do that, and they just get the freedom to do it willy-nilly, and so that's already frustrating. Conversation for another day for sure, but we're here now, I guess. I don't know, this like less than a week thing. So I come from a space where I wasn't necessarily growing up fighting all the time, but I wasn't really fighting until I got into my like young adulthood, unfortunately, and so which made it kind of more dangerous. And not, this isn't something that I glorify, but I was in a space where I was a street salesman, is what we'll say that I was doing. But in that space, being as queer as I was, where you could see it, as far as the day, like everybody knew. But I'm around all these dudes who are very, very heterosexual, and they're just like, and what are you supposed to do around here? And I'm like, you know exactly what I'm here to do, boy. Don't play with me. Like, I'm not even, and you learn to be able to grow your back that way and show that you can do what you're talking about and that you say you can do. And so I did kind of, we're not gonna do too much, but you know what I'm saying? It got to a point where I did have to earn my respect and to kind of grab it, take it, and show that, like, yeah, my weak voice and me being 90 pounds means nothing, because these hands are always going to be rated E for you. So, let's not be too violent, but like, let's also not do too much on me, because I don't even like downplaying or adding gay to then less than, or being not able to do a certain, like, that's always going to piss me off every time. Not to say that stereotypes don't exist, sure, but like that weight doesn't have to be carried over, like as strong as some people make it in. And that's the thing that always kind of like bothers me sometimes, is like, I will say, as much as gay stereotypes exist, whether that's being like a feminine man, like it can't be every time like, oh, he's gay, that makes sense that he's dressing in a corset and a skirt. Yeah, nah. Because y'all bully those 2 straight Atlanta boys who wear utility skirts all the time, and they slanging pussy. So, right. I didn't mean to say all that derogatory like that, but I'm just like, let's be for real here. Like, Lil Uzi Vert's still with JT. They're still together. Like, regardless, like, anybody can say what they want about all these like feminine boys and stuff like that. Y'all not about to play with me. Jamie Foxx and that other black dude, what's his name, the other one, Charlie Murphy, wearing leather and stilettos, pumps, Gucci. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, all these like pretty men, Prince even, like, it's so strange, like these weird stereotypes. Not to say that they're like, those were just feminine men. So it's weird when you put these like weird stereotypes and place it in these other areas, and it almost feels so derogatory, and like adds so much like negative emphasis to just gay. And I hate that. And this is why for a long time, like, I used to hate those commercials growing up where they're like, don't use gay when you really mean stupid. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but the only reason you're even teaching this to the first place, where people are killing themselves, is because of how intense we've gravitated being gay as the negative thing. Side tangent, will never forget. I was like 15, maybe. I had a friend I was in middle school with, my friend Steven. He texted me and he was like, hey, so not to be all in your Kool-Aid like that, because I don't even, use sugar. Weird question, but how did you know you were gay? Or like, what makes you gay? And I was like, dude, what's funny is I feel like I get asked this question more times than not. Realistically, let me ask you a serving question. I know answering a question with a question doesn't really get you anywhere, but what makes you straight? This man didn't text me for like 4 days. I thought I'd been scared this little ginger kid off, just for me to get a phone call later. And he was like, bro, I want you to know your question sent me down a rabbit hole. And he just went on this like long tangent about like, dude, it's so crazy that like realistically I was basically just raised straight, outside of just like being inherently, just attracted to females. Like, but yeah, like even when I was younger, like I always remember like my mom being like, would you have a crush on her and all these things? It never even like occurred to me the option. And I'm like, oh, I mean, technically same. Like, my mom wasn't like, do you want to go kiss that boy? Because that's not what was happening either. But, like, definitely staring in other directions more than I should have been. And we was like, so, yeah. But, like, it's, again, not to get ahead too far into the episode, but, like, when it really comes to where my femininity even comes from, it never had anything to do with my sexuality. Like, they were never attached. So, like, these weird, like, stereotypes that come from, or, like, even stereotypes that are, like, almost capped onto gay people, where it's like, but who is telling you this? Like, where are you getting this information from? Like, not to call him out, but I know a person in my life where every time, he's also a little bit older, but every time he imitates homosexuals, there's like a lisp. And he does like that, oh, stop it. And I'm like, where does that come from? Like, why does that in your head inherently what a just gay person sounds like? Like, where does that stereotype happen? You know what I'm saying? Or like my friends who, when I do meet a girl and they do realize that I am queer and they're just like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden I'm already geared into this keychain area where they're like, oh, well, then you're going to be my gay best friend. Do you want to go shopping? Do you like to do makeup? Or this odd thing of like where I compliment a female and then she's like, guys, ick. And I'll go, no, trust me, I get it. So then I have to like dial up the gay by 60%. I do a little hair flip and she goes, period. And I go, see, that's not necessary though. Like, if I'm dialing up the gay, what are you matching here? Like, you're already a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to imitate you. So how does that, like, you're feeding into a stereotype that I didn't put myself in. And so now it's like this weird space between the both of us. You see what I'm saying? So like, something to discuss for sure. But again, the weight doesn't have to be that heavy over the stereotypes, but when people are feeding to them, whether that's the gay or the straight person, doesn't help either side. You know what I'm saying? And so, not as fun, not as quirky, but it is understood when other people do kind of have these spaces of like, man, I don't want that on my children. I don't want this like promiscuous, sexual, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, that's not to say that that's not, but like, I'm also an adult. So it's like this weird, strange disarray of like, conversation, but then also like lack of information, because like realistically a group of single straight heterosexual people are also just as wildly promiscuous and sexual in their young age anyway. So like, now that I'm like that as a gay man, it's worse. Conversation for another day when we come to deep dive those parts. But again, I do understand the sexual freedom that certain people have in their sexuality that is almost like off-putting to certain groups of people, where they're like, well, I could never. And I'm like, girl, you couldn't even dream the things that I could do with this coochie, but that's a conversation for me and somebody else on another day. But it kind of just is what it is, But I have to call a spade, not to say that throughout history, and I won't say any history is specific, but just history in general, gay men haven't necessarily made it the easiest on the other side. Not to say that there wasn't already a hand forced there. Correct. And this is where it gets tricky, and like the pot stirring, kind of goes teeter-totter on both sides, because not everybody's supposed to agree with me, and that's okay, because my way of thinking is not absolute. But like, let's be realistic here. I am a firm believer in be yourself, authentically yourself, unapologetically yourself, space, and but not at the expense of other people's feelings. Also, be safe. Like, don't be dumb. As much as I would love to rock a pair of pumps, a long wig, and a lace, some boots, you know what I'm saying? And like, whatever the fuck. And a skirt. I can't do that everywhere, because I will get hate crimed and be a tree ornament. That's just not my tea. I'm not there in my journey right now. So I would much rather do that in the spaces I know I can do it, and then kind of teeter-totter in other areas, because I'm not trying to, not trying to ruffle feathers all the time. That's why I do it on the internet. I'm not dumb. White men are scary. But I also know, gay men who do put themselves in positions to where, like, your life is so in jeopardy that, like, it almost seems like a game to you to play with your life, when that's not worth the gamble ever. I've seen some gay people do, extra put the I'm gay, out there, where it's so like, and don't get me wrong, I love to be outwardly gay as much as the next bitch. Fab. Love that. But like, again, they already don't like us. There's already a target on your back. Why would you make it even easier to put yourself in dangerous predicaments when you can just like live your life and then just have them be pissed from the outside and then be jealous? I have niggas who watch me walk in skirts, mini skirts, start from my legs, go up, and now they mad because I got a beard. Don't do too much now. Like, you thought I was sexy, Terrence. Like, what is you doing? Like, now you frown on your face and everything. Obviously, you like something. Was you jealous? I can tell you where I got it. I thrifted it. We can go together. I have nice legs. You have even nicer legs. I believe it. I bet. Let's show them off. Like, never skip a leg day. No, but now you gotta make it weird, and now it's like argument. I feel like I'm gonna get hate crime. Now I gotta like threaten you. And trust me, when I tell you a nigga in a deep voice in a skirt, it does something different to your medulla. I'm telling you. At my last time I used to, when I back in my regular life, when I used to have a regular job, never forget the days that I was getting comfortable wearing skirts, just coming into my androgyny, wearing a skirt. I can hear all the, all the, smacky, smacky, smack. Now everybody's like, my coworkers, the people under me are like, hey, I don't know if you can hear them, and I'm like, oh, trust me, girlfriend, I can feel them, but I got this. Now I got to do that. All right, next, come this way. They coming over here, and they, is that for me? No. Yeah, nigga, you right. Come this way. And because I'm the manager, I got a little spunk to me, so now I'm talking different. They're like, hey, so what's the best stuff? What's the best stuff you got in here? And I'm like, well, do you have money? And they're like, whoa, why you gotta say it like that? And I'm like, well, I just, I don't want to say call it a wild hunch, but I just feel like maybe you can't afford the stuff that I have to offer. And they're like, why you gotta say it like that? And I'm like, I'm just saying, and then, but in line, you had all these comments about me simply based off my appearance, nothing else, correct? Nothing about my character or anything that has to do with me. Gay isn't even the way that I feel when I wear clothes. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Clothes is clothes to me. It's really not like there's no gender attached to that stuff. But you would have known that had we not had a conversation, because all you simply saw was broad shoulders, sexy 5'10", and a mini skirt, and booty just banging. Obviously, like, let's be realistic here. Let's not do too much on me, but let's do too much on the booty. It's big back there. So like, realistically, what are you jealous? Are you trying to get my number? I might have given it to you, but now you're making it strange, and I don't like that. Ick, you're out. Back of the line. Boo tomato, boo 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 tomato. So yeah, no, it's not as fun. It's not as fun. But again, that's in my workplace. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also dressed in work appropriate clothes, so I'm not putting myself in a predicament where it's going to be dangerous outwardly to myself, or I'm going to put myself in a situation where someone's going to have such a strong opinion to where like there's some disarray there. No, just men are uncomfortable when they see flesh. They don't know what to do. Whether it's a skirt or little shorts and it's above the knee, they see too much thigh and they're like, whoa. And I'm like, hey, brother, the fact that you have literally 3 whole hairs to your name and 1 good tooth you're sucking on, and you're asking about my thighs, we have different conversation and other issues to worry about. This is a third world country, and you're having first world problems. We should be doing different math here, Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not about to do all that too much, but, I don't know. I feel like wherever it is that, like, even you see a gay man, whether he's feminine or not, that he also just doesn't have this ability to, like, protect himself or, like, defend himself or, whatever the case may be. Like, this is also why sassy men are so aggressive. Not to say that it's every gay man's experience, but I will say the times that I have experienced or had conversations with other gay men in my life, we kind of all have similar backgrounds. I was getting bullied in my home. You talking about getting bullied by somebody else. My mama was trying to put her hands on me. So now coming out, like, I feel like the anime character who fights their first human in a while, and they're like, you think I'm worried about you? I fight giants. Like, you're talking about something different. My voice being high meant nothing to me. And then again, I wasn't fighting for like the right reasons, but by the time I was getting into physical altercations with other people, they used to be twice my size. I've been small my whole life. Like, I just got big recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, a whole 92 pounds soaking wet, nothing else, but like swinging with my whole life repeatedly until nothing left. And so now what? Now we're here. But respect on my name was never something I had to like, no, trust me, it was there and I earned that. But this is also why I got a strong team on my back, because people know like the way that I talk and walk and preach is just that. So like wherever this weird disarray of like, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing, he ain't got it like that. Who don't? Girl, not too much on me because I don't even like to be physical like that, but I will be if I need to be. Pacifist where I'll kick you. And so I feel like it's also just very annoying that like you just outwardly think because this person is gay or coming into being a gay person or just discovery of what it's like to be a gay man, you now decide you're going to bully them and do these like weird things like they just can't defend themselves. Now when that motherfucker turn around with that Bieber cut and an ascot, decide to rock 'em, sock 'em, rock your shit into next week, now what? No, don't go too far. Now what? Because now you can't see out of your left eye. You're trying to figure out what day it is now. Like, why would you do you realize he's fighting with repression and like all this outwardly anger he been dealing with from in home? You didn't unleash the beast. Probably a gay one, but that's a conversation for another day, I guess. So, it is what it is, girly pop. It is what it is. But I like where we are. And I think it should be very important to note that it's not this like outwardly difficult thing to get to positions of not wanting to be bullied or take shit from nobody, because Gator don't play that. Gator don't play no shit, or whatever that white man said in that one movie. But yeah, no, I feel like even outside of like the have to defend yourself or be in these physically demanding places, outside of like the stereotypes and everything, realistically, in a gay man's life, the femininity parts are more welcome, because I feel like there's so much self-discovery and then just in being a human. Sexuality outside of that is like when you take the time to actually get to know yourself, no gender, regardless, no nationality, anything. You should be doing so much self like discovery and having the time to get to know who you are inside and out as a human, regardless. Being in tune with your feminine and masculine side should be something that just comes with regular growth as being in existence. So having the ability to practice both sides should be something that just becomes natural outside of being gay or lesbian or whatever, or even straight. So like the fact that you meet some people, like you meet a straight guy, he just outwardly bubbly or whatever, kind of high pitched voice, and you're like, oh, you gay? And he's like, nigga, no, what the fuck? I slang poo-tang every day. I just really like to be like a mockingbird and just jumping up, you know what I'm saying? I'm really excited. That shouldn't be like a thing though. Like that, the fact that we all assume that, you know, that man's gay because of that way, or like that type of, that he's just in tune with his feminine side. Like what the fuck? Or the one ally in Ali, the one ally of a straight man who's so in tune with his sexuality that all his friends happen just to be gay guys. But then of course the whole world's gonna be like, well, he's probably gay because of what? I will never understand people getting, like, men watching another dude with a skincare routine, going into his comments on something and him recording it and being like, dang, that's pretty gay. Why are you in the bathroom so long? Huh? This why y'all use 62 in one body wash, oiled conditioner, coffee. Like, what is you fucking talking about? That sounds so crazy. I love me a good smelly good man. I tell you what. I love me a smelly good human. And this is why I always buy all the good smelly stuff on my stuff from the feminine areas, or like Bed Bath & Beyond, Bath & Body Works and shit. Because why the fuck all the male scented stuff smell like concepts? Smell like ideas and shit. What the fuck is a winter fresh? If you don't give me that passion fruit, pineapple, lavender, what the fuck? I want to smell like a Starbucks. Why the fuck do you think I want to smell like winter mist? Don't piss me off. I don't know what the fuck a rainbow smells like. Don't irritate me. Why the fuck was the only scent men ever got was chocolate from Axe in 2006? Huh? No, quickly, huh? Cause I'm sorry. I don't fucking no, I don't like it. You know, piss me off extra today. I think it's fucking stupid. I don't like that. It's just like this weird disarray of wanting to take care of myself. And we're not even gonna get into the metro side, but just being simply in, like, that's not even a part of your feminine or masculine sides. It's a part of your you sides, nigga. Like, that's it. But regardless, at the end of the day, like, how you're viewed by the outworld, you know, is always the most important thing. Everybody cares about their appearance. Everybody cares, you know, how you're going to be able to do that. But like how an individual expresses themselves or holds themselves in the public eye should not hold as much weight to anyone else but that person. I'm not going to lie, and not to do too much on me because I love talking about me. Obviously, why not? I'm the only me in my body. The day that I realized how awesome that I was, and like I fell in love with me, we got a secret handshake and everything. We really kumbaya up here. There's not a single outward look that I feel like I could ever be given where people would gonna have me feeling some type of way. Listen, you might be like, oh, he ain't got no money, and I'm like, oh, listen, it might have declined that one time. You could be like, he might have been late that one time, and I'm like, damn. The second you're like, yeah, but he ugly. Who are we discussing about? Oh, he can't dress. Girl, what the fuck is you? Are you? Oh, how is you cool? We're talking about different things here, because it couldn't be me. There's no way. There's not a single opinion on the outward like coming into me that could do me in so crazy where I'd be like, damn, you cooked me that one time. Girl, there's a whole councilman of cool ass niggas on me, and I'm the realest nigga that I know, and I got me on my back. A whole team. What the fuck? What are you talking about? There is nothing else. That's the whole way. So if I choose to express myself outwardly crazy, the only thing that I can think of is people are just jealous that they can't do it. That's all. That's really just what it comes down to. People are so jealous by ways of expression that they don't even have the ability to do. It's lack of motivation. So seeing someone so creatively free, sexually free, in their gender identity or whatever, being able to display that so freely with a smile on their face, that have hoes walking, shivering, timbers in their boots. I'm telling you, it's a very interesting place to be in because people don't understand how that, like, well, how could you just willy-nilly? Bitch, because I felt like it. I wanted to. Free will. I'll go do 6 backflips right now because I feel like it. What do you mean? Bounce that ass. Like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all make it easier and easier for people to dictate how you're going to use your life. Not me, though. No, boo-boo. And that's because I fucking refuse. Y'all hoes got me fucking fucked up. But, it is what it is. Because, again, self-expression is... It's your identity. That's your whole life right there. Whatever character you decide you're gonna cosplay as, be that, bitch. Do that. Who's gonna tell you otherwise? The second I see somebody who's like, should I wear this? I'd be like, girl, yes. Don't even ask me no questions. I am the biggest encouraging person ever to everything, always. I used to tell my friend, not that it was like the most encouraging thing. I used to tell my homeboy back in the day. I said, hey man, whether you're doing good or not, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Go do something. Go somewhere. Don't stay stagnant. I don't give a fuck where you're going. Even if you got to go backwards, just be moving. Go do something. Start up and get to going. Thank you. And he held that like to his whole life. He's still doing that today. Running from his baby mama. I'm not going. Let me quit. I'm doing too much. I'm doing way too much now. But realistically, I feel like it also comes down to what's taught in those households. How you decide to exercise your femininity or masculinity or even those self-aware expressions, it's all by what you intake. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the way that you were raised, the way that your family is around you, your friends, your surroundings. It's all going to be about stuff of that nature. And so, like, realistically, if you can be taught to be manly and or ladylike, then basically you can teach both sides as far as expression goes, correct? So it's like, I don't necessarily need to be manly in all aspects of my life. Some things need to be more delicately or daintier or ladylike, which doesn't have to go against my whole gender identity, like in the slightest. Anytime that I wear a skirt, whether it's mini and my ass cheek popping out or not, obviously you're staring, I still sit like a lady. Just because I know it's still polite and I'm not trying to just go, that's public indecency. I know that. I'm not dumb and I already have a target on my back. You're already staring because my legs are out. So, like, I might as well cover up the goodies where I can. Something about me, depending on what the suit is, and I'm becoming more comfortable by my body, I try to be so generous to where it comes to my slutty wear at raves. I am not a woman and I'm well aware of that. Whether I choose or want to wear women's clothing or whatever the fuck people decide to say, I got a sexy body, I'm show it off. But I am still very mindful of my surroundings and surrounding areas, and then who my surrounding people are and what's comfortable to them to what's comfortable to me. Personally, I'm never going to tuck. I'm not going to do anything that looks like tucking because I don't want that to look, that's not my ministry. No, I'm not doing none of that. But I'm not a fan of bulging. It's even, one of my friends, Sean, he even makes a joke where he's like, and a just touch of polite a little bit of bulge. And I was like, see, thank you, because I don't like to just be outwardly in a jockstrap just bulging. I'm not in a bar, like I'm not a stripper, like I'm not doing that. Any outfits, there's always something covering the front because I don't prefer to bulge. Any like bodysuit that I'm wearing, that's not what those are like the parts that I don't care. That's why I prefer all my tops to be big and my bottoms are small. If the ass cheeks out, cool, but I'm not trying to, it just makes me uncomfortable. I don't care to see that. Even as a gay man, that's not something that I think is really appropriate everywhere, just in like day-to-day life. I don't want a woman's nipples. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like these things. Like it's, so I just feel like if I'm going to choose to be mindful both sides of like the ladylike things to the manly things, then I hate that I have to express it, but I feel like I find myself in the areas of being around, a group of a group of just, women. And one of them says they need help with something and they're just all struggling. And I go, hey, do you want me to do it? And they're just like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then I do it and they're like, wow, I always forget. And I'm like, what? That I'm actually a nigga? I'm a whole man. Like girl, it's actually big in the front, not just the back. But like, let's not do too much because that's a different podcast at a later hour. I'm telling you guys right now, like it's not difficult to execute or exercise both ways of thinking when it comes to being ladylike and like a gentleman, because everyone can do them, both sides duality on either end. But conversation that I feel like that's not willing to have on all parts. So it kind of just give and take for sure. But we're here now. Um, I've already kind of mentioned it too, but like even outside of what's being taught, we have to lose this like, and it gets glorified even where I kind of get frustrated even when it is like praised positively, but it shouldn't even be a thing because it shouldn't matter if people want to wear clothes. It's because people wear clothes. Again, as I've mentioned, I am very androgynous with my clothing. I like to wear clothes. I worked in retail for like over a decade. I love me a good fit. As y'all bitches can tell, I always have that shit on every episode. Let's not do too much. My closet goes crazy. But it's like I think fashion through as a form of self-expression, it is so freeing. But it has zero to do with sexuality. Like there's I'm telling you, there are people who dress way more feminine than I do, who again are getting so much poutine. Like I can't even like express it. Like it's pretty gay almost. Like it's just it's wildly understood to me why the way you look or being able to be so comfortable in said clothing means that's gay or whatever. If a dude wants to wear a skirt, let him wear a skirt. He want to show a little thigh, let him. If he feels cute and dainty, let him. If anything, make more skirts for boys that have pockets, because why ever you women don't have pockets and none of your clothing is beyond me. But we're here now, I guess. I thrift my shit, and back in the day, they put pockets in there. I don't know why today y'all just don't get pockets no more. So that seems like bullying. That seems like racially motivated towards boo boo. But again, I guess a conversation that we can have on a different episode or whatever. But it is what it is. I got an attitude today about it. It's just fucking stupid. I don't know. I always have an attitude about it because I think it's dumb. I think it's dumber than dumb. Scoopity poop poop garbage or whatever Kanye said in that one song back in the day. How's he doing? Let's not do too much. Yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter how he's doing. I don't know. I just feel like clothes are cool, bro. And drugs are bad, but you should be able to wear whatever the fuck you want because clothes are so much fun. And I feel like there's so many fun ways to be creative through looking outwardly just goofy, fun, eccentric, and then whether that's minimal or maximal, just fucking go do it. It's not about being gay. It's not about being a man, a woman, black, orange, purple, green, like literally none of those things. It's just about being you and however you want to show that you through creativity in the artwork of clothing. Do it. They're separate. There is no comma. They are whole ass different categories. I guarantee to you. Oh, Lordy Jesus, girls. I think we know what time it is, and what is that? What time it is. Time for a segment break. Well, as we get into that, is it lazy writing for the week? I do have a kind of fun one this week, actually. And this bitch is funny because I actually do know her personally, and she called me. And she wanted to tell her little story, but she didn't want, people to kind of get there. But, so, this is from Anonymous, but I basically go tell her story in short. Okay, so we'll put it like this. Girly Pop is seeing two dudes, right? One dude she got chemistry with, one dude's not so much, but she built the chemistry with. Well, dude number two is, we're going to say, outwardly wearing bugs for the streets. Other dude, not so much, more a little tamed. Long story short, she has a falling out with more tailored dude, and they just not really in it. So, dude for the streets, she's like, I want to live a little rowdy, rambunctious life. Put me on the back of your motorbike. Let's do it. They on the motorbike, living life free, large, charged, doing all types of getting tattoos, living it, right? Tell me why, up and just for whatever reason, the dude has all these high expectations set of her and is kind of like expecting things that she can't do or didn't say she was going to do. And then basically self-sabotage. They end up deciding to split, whatever. It gets to a point now where dude's like, honestly, fuck you. I'm you a bitch too. And so she's like, what are you talking about? You're weird, whatever. So she just like, don't talk to him. And so now he's kind of like being aggressively, like not just aggressive around her or whatever. And so she's like, what the fuck is you doing? Don't do too much. And so like now she blatantly ignores him all the time and he just pouts and complains about it. Is what it is. So she's like, do you think it's lazy writing that I refuse to be like booted out of places that I've been, invited to because of him, but now I'm in those spaces regardless and I'm still going to be in them, so I'm still going to like see you, but no. And I go, girl, you're a poet. Fuck no, that's not lazy writing. Because show these boys that they can't just do whatever the fuck they want for the sake of, nah. A lot of men lack in emotional intelligence, or they're a bunch of hypocrites who do have the ability to intake information and they know what's happening and don't know how to practice any of it. Like it just does not translate from one place to another. And I feel like I run into this so often where you hear so many people wildly creative, men being wildly like, I don't know, fucking smarty pants, and just like, well, you got to do it like this and like this, and realistically, this is the best way to execute it, and I feel like it would work out. And I'm like, oh my god, so you do know how it works? And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, you sure didn't show me that you knew how it works. That's all. I wouldn't have known that. Shit. Surprise, surprise, I guess. And not surprise, nigga. Like, that's crazy. But, I guess we live and we fucking learn, huh? Yeah, no, girl, that's not lazy writing. It's not, y'all dumb as hell. But yeah, no, we love the segment breaks. Obviously, it does build traction. It builds engagement with me to you guys. As your host, you can always reach out to me from the Instagram or the TikTok in the comments, or you can DM me. They are open at all points. It is the Hey Boo PC, and so that is always in the links areas. So yeah, go do that. Get you some. Have a conversation. I'm down to gag with you guys. And for the viewers who are not watching, who are just on the Spotify, you guys can comment too. I'm pretty sure. So I be in them comments too. I'll be in them comments, girl. But girl, back to the episode. Yeah, Chile, child, or whatever they be saying. I don't know. I just feel like I can't speak for the rest, but I don't want to be a woman. Like, I genuinely, like, it's not, and I don't say it to say that like, I'm offended or like that's like a bad thing. Like, I personally, I don't listen for real. I don't have the balls to be a woman. The things women endure and go through in just basic day-to-day existence, not my ministry. I don't have the reins to subscribe. Can't do it. It won't be me. That stresses me out. And so this weird ideology that gay men imitate women so much, no, that's, I promise that's not what it is. I don't want to be a girl. Every time I wear a feminine outfit, it's because my body just looks good. It says serving tea. It's not because I want to look like some girl named Sharkeisha. Because Sharkeisha, no. That's not what I want. I promise you that's not what I want. That's not what I want so much that it's not what I want. And that's really just how it goes. Like, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not something that I feel like is necessary. I don't know. I enjoy swaying it between my legs personally, and I'm very good with my instruments, not to be, kind of vulgar, but realistically, I don't know. I don't know how to express enough. And I can't speak for every gay man in the world because I don't know if the rest of them do want to be women. Doubtful, but like, no. Also, we're not even going to get into this, is this shit a choice thing, and because it's such a like funny concept, but like, what would make you think I want to be with a man who can't even like tie his shoe? He using again 62-in-1 body wash, no emotional intelligence, don't know how to talk to his mom. Like, I'm not dealing with that. But I don't have a choice. As much as I would love to go bump Kurt coochies with her, the second a woman puts a finger on my head, I'm going to literally dissolve. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Can't even. No, for real. Like, that's just how that's gonna be. It's not gonna work out. Yeah, I don't know. There isn't really some like just deep rooted like when the girly feminine parts are realistically because I was raised by women. It's what I was surrounded by my entire life. Then it's what I watched intake in television. So it's not an imitation. It's more of just like what I was surrounded by. So they're the main reasons that I just kind of see more than not. I just happen to also be gay. I would probably be this exact same way, raised the exact same way without the homosexuality, regardless. Like, literally. I'm telling you, there are straight men today who are just as feminine. Not to mention all these men who fucking are in drag now, Tyler Perry and everybody else, and y'all looking at me talking about I'm the one who want to be gay. What about Auntie Tyler? That man, with the like that what the whole with that him and RuPaul neck and neck. Like, what is we talking about here? But I'm the one who want to be gay because I want to rock a miniskirt. Fuck the plot being lost. The plot's out of the room. She's no longer staying with us. She has left the building. I don't know, Buki. It's just not. I like being a dude. I mean, I like being a man per se, but that's just because it's been soiled for the rest of us. So I think women are tight as fuck. Also, honestly, I think they do the best parts of the world that we have on the earth, and they're God's best gift to us. But that's just what I gotta say. And I said, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. No, I'm just kidding. Did y'all know that was a Marley that made that song for the opening of Arthur? Fun fact. But yeah, man, what an episode. I feel like we got into some really fun things. I feel like we got into some really fun topics. I feel like I got to personally unload things that I feel like I've been feeling strongly about just in general. And so it's good to get these things, from paper onto my brain and kind of get to these points now. But I feel like it was a fun episode. I feel like it was more organized and we got to the parts of important meat and potatoes that we need to be, as opposed to just kind of bouncing around. But yeah. Music of the week for me. I've low-key been listening to a lot of dubstep recently. My friend showed me this bomber mix on YouTube from Infrasound. That's been the vibe. What about you? Comments, obviously. Don't comments. Like, what the fuck? Don't piss me off. Mental health check. Are you willing to welcome all walks of life? It doesn't have to be into your life, but like, is that something that you're even, you know what I'm saying? And if you ever have to come up with the, oh yeah, I'm okay with them as long as they don't, that you, man, to the side, boo tomato, that's lazy writing. Because that means that you're not welcoming to all walks of life and everything that comes with that. Capiche? Capiche. Thank you for learning with me. I feel like you guys are getting to the point of where so much information is being intaked, and I do get, like I said, I read the comments. I'm in those areas, and so it is fun to watch you guys give me a lot of information and stuff like that, and feedback and stuff. So I do appreciate the feedback that I have been receiving. You guys are amazing, and I wouldn't be where I am, literally without you guys. So thank you. No, literally, thank you, and thank you some more. Honestly, I'm excited for next week's episode because next week I literally just get to bully all the people with all opinions. But realistically, that's the episode, girlfriend. What a fun time! This was literally a grand old time, if I don't say so myself. Next week we get into just literally unsolicited opinions because realistically, we know my piggy bank is full and I don't need those 2 cents. But on that note, girlfriend, don't forget to wash your ass. Obviously, duh. I am your host, Boo Boo. This is the Hey Boo podcast. Get out of here, girl.
Get ready, everyone. You're listening to the Hey Boo podcast.
I like